show, which will probably be shown right around the holidays, as it goes that way. With me tonight, we have an illustrious cast from all around the world, actually, which is kind of wonderful. So I'm just going to go on my screen from left to right. We have Mr. Bill Marsh with us. We have Buddy from Chicago. We have John from Boston.
Yeah.
We have Aaron from Calgary, Canada. And our last international guest, we have Alex from Cyprus. Welcome, guys. So, hey, I see a lot of you have been gigging. Do you still have events to do right up until Christmas?
Yeah, I do. I've got one on Friday. I had one last Saturday, which was for the local British forces here, and I have another one coming up on Friday. So Christmas, yeah, 'tis the season to be jolly.
It is, and you have your ugly sweater on. It's great. I forgot to wear an ugly sweater.
Bring up the 1K so we can hear your voice better.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I got a
really
cool
red line it. Yeah,
that's
the
awesome,
jumper's
Alex.
red. You know, red lining with jumper. Yeah, red
Well, I
lining.
got the red background this time just for the 'tis the season. I got a really cool show coming up this week.
What do you got?
I'm doing lights and sound for my niece's grade 1 Christmas concert. I'm really excited about it. I know it's not at a posh hotel, it's at her school, but they asked, their lighting and sound guy dropped out at the last second and said, we're doing our your niece is in it. It's her grade 1, her first grade Christmas concert. So I'm doing that. I just did a big couple 100-person rock show on the weekend. I'm going out to do a little Christmas party the next. Yeah. So it's a polar shift for myself, but I'm really excited to do it. So I'm actually, you know what? Having you here, Howie, I would like to know, in your opinion, knowing your knowledge of microphones, to mic up like a choir type situation where I'm going to have, 20, 30 of the little guys all set up. And I was thinking about putting, 2 to 4 microphones in front of them to mic them up. In your opinion, what mics should I be looking at? I know you know more about mics than most people.
Omni mics. Or if you've done bands, the overhead mics or omni mics that are over the cymbals.
Yep.
That would work well. Have them up high and you'll be able to capture all the kids. And some of the kids will be just mouthing it. I know you're doing this from the heart. I've done them too. I've done big things and then you do these things. And I don't know, that they can be the most heartwarming favorite gigs of the season for you,
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Wait till they see that box truck show up and you start rolling in all that scaffolding and all the moving heads in the fog and the lasers to be like, this is a first grade production, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just went a little over the top because
I'm bringing a couple movers. I'm going to throw some wash lighting in there for them, green and red and blue and stuff. I'm gonna throw some par cans down in the front, and then I've already got it in my head. I'm already figuring it out. What I'm going to do.
You know what?
For kids
those kids will remember that the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
I can remember doing that for my little guy. He's 25 now, but I still call him my little guy.
Yeah. I loved it when my kids were doing the Christmas concerts and stuff. And it is the season. So, to be there for my niece and it's her first one. And I'm like, second, actually. This is her second Christmas concert ever, but I'm pretty excited. I mean, just to be asked to do it. I mean, because the other people backed out last minute. I'm pretty stoked. So I'm grabbing all that stuff, and I will be heading over to the rental shop. I'll grab like 4 omnidirectional mics. Thanks, Howie. Appreciate it.
All right. Who's up next?
I can go. I have a gig this weekend, but the one I'm really looking forward to, which Tracy and I just had a meeting with this past weekend, is our New Year's Eve wedding, which is first time I'm doing a New Year's Eve wedding in all the years of business, 18 years of business. This first New Year's Eve wedding I'm doing.
Oh, wow.
Do tons of weddings.
I've never done a New Year's Eve wedding.
I have one too, buddy. I'm doing a New Year's Eve wedding as well.
There you go.
Are you really?
Yeah, downtown
year?
Calgary. Yeah, this year,
Wow.
New Year's Eve, I'm doing a wedding. I was booked a while back.
You two are ballers, man. Look at you guys go.
It's pretty interesting because originally when we talked to them, they're supposed to go to 1 o'clock. Now they're cutting it back to 12:30. Half hour difference, no big deal. But they're going to do a balloon drop.
Wow.
They're going all out for this. So this is a lot of work for two of us to do, and I'm really looking forward to it. But in this coming this weekend, it's not really big. It's 70 people. The other one's 100, and I think they got 110 for New Year's. But both of them are going to be it's just fun. And I'm not complaining one single bit because we all remember back a couple years ago, no business whatsoever. And now last year, this year, and next year for our business, when we're blessed to have all this great amount of business coming in. And I hope the rest of you guys have a gig here and there for the rest of the season, the rest of the year. And then it's kind of funny because we have off January and I have 3 wedding shows in January. And then February, we have one wedding in February. And I got 2 more that may be for February. So it's
Let me ask you about the balloons. You and Tracy aren't going to set that up, are you?
No. They have a company coming in, but Tracy is going to want to pull the string.
Oh, okay.
So she'll be the one pulling the string because she's the coordinator. So, but she is going to pull the string. But the company, they have a company coming in and putting in. And I'm trying to think. I think if I remember correctly, she says like 1,000 balloons. It's gold, black, and white.
I did. Yeah, I had when I haven't done one in 10 years. I just was like, nah, I'm done with New Year's Eve, but whenever they had a balloon drop, I would say, I'm not going to give you an upcharge, but here's who I recommend. They're a balloon company. They're experienced. They know what they're doing. Let them take care of it. Sometimes.
Balloons I wouldn't want to deal with because again, I'm a DJ, not a balloon guy. Right. Balloon girl. So I would not want to do that myself. But the thing is that I always feel having a repertoire of other vendors that you always turn to and say, hey, you don't have this person? Oh, you don't have a photographer? You don't have this? And that's why I always like having those options when I talk to clients. And that's what every time we talk to clients, what else do you need? And having that resources to go to and
exactly.
Ask. This holiday season is very, 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 very busy. We're off for Christmas. We can enjoy Christmas with our family, and again, one gig this weekend and the following weekend, for New Year's. I'm loving it. I'm just happy as all heck.
Well, you're catching up. A lot of people are catching up from the COVID years. Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next?
Sure. Go ahead, Bill.
So I did a holiday party last Saturday that technically was the 2020 holiday party for the company. They actually had booked me. They pretty much always would book me in February right after the previous year, just because they wanted to make sure they guaranteed the date. And in this case, same thing. They booked me, paid their deposit first week of February of 2020, and we just kept holding out hope, but it never happened. And it's a cool company though, and kind of one of those tug at your heartstring type deals too, because it's a nonprofit corporation. They provide services for kids on the autism spectrum, things like tutoring services and occupational therapy and so forth. The neatest thing is that since that party that didn't happen in 2020, they have nearly tripled in size because of all the demand thanks to the school shutdowns.
Right.
And so they opened up a lot more remote locations. They were in 3 states. They're now in 5 states plus DC. So I mean, it's a pretty cool deal.
Well, how many people for this one?
So that's the other funny thing, though. Even though they grew so big, they went from having usually about 130, 140 people at their party to having 45. because they
And that's
outgrew
staff?
the ability to bring everybody to the party.
You mean staff or
This was
clients
just
as
all
well?
their admin people. No, they don't bring in clients. They do a client party separately. And it's really cool. They have a special Santa who is also trained in dealing with autistic sensitive kids. So, he knows not to do certain things, and
right.
as the parent, as they bring the kids up, they let him know what sensory issues that child may have. And so that's also pretty neat. But no, in this case, it was a situation where they would bring in and pay for an overnight stay for all of their staff that wanted to come from the 3 different states. Now that they're in 5 states plus DC and so many locations, it would have been ridiculous for them to try to do that. So they held location-based parties and then traveled in all of the admin level people from the different locations. So this was kind of like the main office plus the admin folks,
right?
Which was also cool because next year they plan to actually have me go on a traveling roadshow for holiday parties.
Wow!
Really?
And
that's awesome.
If it goes the way we talked that night, I could have all December done, like 3-4 days a week.
Wow.
So,
that's the dream goal right there.
Yeah, it is.
The DJ just to have that volume, man. Good
exactly.
Yep. When I was at my multi-op, we used to do all the holiday parties for Aerotech, which is the company that Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the Ravens, has. And he did all the parties all in one night, kind of like the inaugural balls. He would book out 6 or 7 of the biggest locations in Baltimore and throw, different theme parties at each location. And all the people would start at certain locations, and then after 2 hours, they were able to move about the city and go to other venues if they wanted. So that was also pretty cool. But and then after this, my next event is this Saturday. Sorry, I'm rambling. But I got a holiday party for a company that's been around in the area for 30 years, but they've never had a holiday party.
Wow.
And so that they've figured coming out of 2020, shut down stuff.
Yeah.
The funny thing was that their parent company had said in 2020, you should throw a holiday party this year. And so they had it budgeted for 3 years worth of holiday parties planned in 2020. So they're using all 3 years budget on this party.
Wow, so that's great.
I've got up lights, I've got wash lights, I've got gobos, just like static gobos. Everything's static. It's cool. I don't need to worry about my lack of DMX skills. But if you recall, I actually talked to you about coming down and doing this job. If it came to that. But anyway, so they're really going all out and kind of throwing, big menu, big food. I tried to get them to do a photo booth, and they're like, "Nah, we don't think our guys are going to want to do that." They're a roofing company. So
yeah, some people aren't into it.
Yeah, but it's going to be cool. And then to what Buddy was saying about the New Year's Eve thing, and Aaron too, right? New Year's Eve weddings.
Yep.
Yep.
Prior to 2020, I did a New Year's Eve wedding at least every other year since 97. But 99, it wasn't a wedding. I did one in 97. I did one in 98. I'm sorry. I'm lying. Since 2002, I've done a New Year's Eve wedding every year. Because 97, 98, 99, I did all the same place.
Normally I'm in the clubs for New Year's Eve. Normally I'm booked like far in advance, and they want me at the club because it's usually some bands coming in, so they want to bring an extra DJ in, and I mostly do MC work, right, for stuff like that because they got a house DJ, and then I just do all the mic work, and because he's usually not vocal on the mic very often. So traditionally, I don't have weddings. I'm in the bars. And I remember before COVID, I'm like, I'm kind of getting sick of this. Like Howie was saying, I just want New Year's off. Like I'm just I was kind of done with it with the club scene. And then when I got picked up this year for a wedding, I was like, man, I haven't done a wedding on New Year's and I can't remember how long, because it was mostly bars I would leave that spot open for. I never really entertained the weddings, because right about now you get sick of weddings. But I was pretty happy to grab this one. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a wedding like right after Christmas, right in the middle of Christmas season, not do a Christmas show.
Now, let me ask you guys this question here, because
wait, before you do, buddy, let's get to John.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll put the fork in the last of this section, and we can get on to something else.
Yeah, and then we'll go on to Buddy's question.
For New Year's Eve weddings, it's funny. I did one in 1999, so it would have been the Y2K, the big party.
That was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So then guess what happens in 2019? I get a phone call for the 20th anniversary of the wedding couple, and I get another wedding on New Year's to go back and do it again.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So mark your calendars 20 years from that date. When you're doing the one this year, you might get called in
right
2043.
Yeah, I've done where they do the recommitment or whatever they call it. I've done that.
No, that's fine. Early December was busy. I've since the tail end of November, I've been doing something every single day. I've been somewhere set up for something. I did 2 weeks of theater run shows. I had weekend coverage I had to do for some of the clubs that I work. And then last week I had to harvest the sound. I've been doing interviews, which should be hopefully coming up on DJing TV pretty soon. I sat down with Ben Stowe, Rachel, Tyler. So hopefully we'll be seeing some of those. So I'm looking forward to a clear calendar past Christmas. It'd be great. I have holiday parties coming up with January. I got like Boston Medical Center Nurses Association and stuff like that are once we get into the next year. But I'm going to enjoy a little peace and quiet for the next week and a half anyway. Maybe actually go out New Year's this year. So
good job, man.
Thanks, Howie.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, buddy, go ahead.
So I got a question for you guys, Aaron and Bill, since especially you, Bill. When you do New Year's Eve weddings, do you charge an extra fee, or do you just have them select? You only pick like my top 2 packages.
No, geez, I'm going to sound like Ben Stowe again. It depends.
It depends, yeah.
But in most cases, I always charged a premium for New Year's Eve because I did not do bars and clubs.
Yep.
I never went so far as like doubling my rate for a New Year's Eve wedding, but I did basically increase the price, or not discount the price, I guess might be one way of putting it. But the one thing about a New Year's Eve wedding that makes them, kind of my favorite thing to do for New Year's Eve, it's a guaranteed party.
Yes.
You can do New Year's Eve at a bar and it might not be a party.
Right.
You can do New Year's Eve at a hotel, where people are paying a crap load of money to come and do it. And it might not be a party.
Right.
But a wedding, I've yet to have one. I did one in some people's house one time for New Year's Eve. They had me back for their next 4 anniversaries.
Wow.
And that was even a weird thing, because I did still keep true to I did two weddings on New Year's Eve the second year, because I did a daytime wedding and then did theirs anniversary party. But it's almost always, like just guaranteed fun. From another pricing standpoint, I also would look at it as, when are they booking me? If they're booking me in August, September, October for a New Year's Eve wedding, well, then yeah, maybe I'm going to give them my normal wedding rate. But if they're booking me in August, September, October for the following year's New Year's Eve wedding, full boat.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. The answer is no. It was the exact same rate had they booked it in October or booked it in March for October. I did the exact same pricing for the wedding. I didn't. And I know in her voice, she was surprised when I said the number. And she immediately went, "Oh yeah, book it. Yep, book it." And I could tell that she must have talked to vendors before me.
Yeah.
And she got the upsell or the upcharge for the New Year's. And I said, no. She goes, "Is that your regular rate?" And I said, yeah. I can't remember. I think she's 100 people and it's in the city. You know, it's only half an hour drive for me. It's within that kilometer range where I don't start charging any additional mileage or nothing like that. And I said, "You're in a good spot. I know there's lots of parking I don't have to pay for. I know you're in a good location. I don't have to worry about my stuff." I said, "No, I like the venue. I like the food at the venue. Make sure I'm fed. We're good."
Yeah.
She's like, "Done, book it. Done, book it." And it was the same rate I did a wedding 3-4 weeks ago, same price. No,
and see, that's exactly why my answer is it depends.
It depends.
Because that kind of situation, I probably would have been like, yeah, no, it's normal.
Yeah.
Well,
or like if I knew they were going to book lights, you know, if they already started talking about add-ons,
right?
Okay.
Before we got to the contract.
That's what happened with me. They're my normal price for my gold package. So they went to the second highest package, but they also added enhancements to the package.
Right.
So when I looked at everything, I'm like, why charge an extra fee? I'm making good money on it.
Yeah.
And besides that, well, they got a taco bar. What can you go wrong with?
Oh,
Nice.
And Cold Stone Creamery. They're not doing a cake; they're doing ice cream scooping.
Decent ice cream.
So
too.
Cold Stone and taco bar.
Hey,
lights are free.
Wrong.
Winner.
Lights are
It
free.
is.
Life is
it
good.
Really is.
There's a question actually, just to kind of. Sorry, I know I'm taking this sideways, but if you're getting bookings 2 years down the road, are you looking at future price increases on your packages?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. There's inflation.
Well, that's what I'm kind of concerned about, because right now, like especially where I live, the price of fuel is stupid, and it's not getting any better. So I'm looking. I got a call. I booked a wedding for 2025, and I told him a number.
For 2025?
Yes, sir.
3 years. That's,
wow.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something. It was a date they met. It was their exact 10-year date or something like that. It's 25, whatever. July 25, something like that.
Yeah. Got to play that song. You know,
yeah.
25.
Yeah. 25.
Sager and Evans, right? Sager and Evans.
25.
No, it was for a reason. There was a specific date. They saw me at another event and they said, "We want you for that date." And I pitched a number and I thought about it afterwards and I went, I think I might have bit this too low.
Don't you have a clause like subject to price changes or anything? Like you could say that's based on now, but I don't expect it to be more. But if everything costs more, it might be smidge more.
This year I've had stuff that was booked 2 years ago pre-COVID, and I had to come back to the couple and I approached it like this. Listen, when we booked this, the world wasn't crazy. And fuel wasn't $2 a liter, which, $8 a gallon. Mm-hmm. So I want you to please take this into consideration on the prices. And I'm looking for X numbers of dollars for travel that I didn't have as a cost before. And almost every couple I approached that with were like, you know what? We totally understand.
Sure. If that's the only bump, they can totally stand that.
Yeah. So. And I mean, if they came back and said, no, absolutely not, we can't afford it anymore, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. Now, hold on. Let me switch this back to the holiday thing here.
Yeah, thank you.
If I could, when you do holiday parties, do you play all Christmas music? For myself, I do what Brian has phrased as, I forget where he got it from. The family hour will be holiday music, but then during the dancing portion, they're kind of like they've heard enough of it shopping. And I feel like, no, they're going to want to have a normal dance party that's not Christmas music.
Yeah.
Does anybody else do that?
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me last week.
Yeah.
Basically, it was, as I said, it was a military function. So they had all the Christmas classics, Whamageddon, Last Christmas and Mariah Carey and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
They had that whilst they were having their cocktails. Then they had exactly the same playlist all over again whilst they were having dinner. So by the time it came to me, it was like, yeah, do I really want to play Mariah Carey again for like the 5th time they've heard it tonight?
Encore.
All I want for Christmas is no more Mariah Carey. That's all I want for Christmas. No more Mariah.
I'm going to crawl back up her chimney on December 26th and not see her for another year. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so, I did like a normal party, which was, people say, oh, yeah, what do I do? I normally do weddings, which is what I do, and I've seen recent posts on forums, on Facebook, etc. Oh, I'm doing a Christmas party, but I normally do weddings. What's the difference? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there is no difference. A party is a party. You play what the guests, your clients want. If it's the same music as you play at a wedding, it's a party.
Right.
It doesn't matter what time of year it is.
That's how I look at it. Yeah.
If it's a Halloween party, you're more likely to play Thriller by Michael Jackson, which you wouldn't normally play at any other time of year. You just make it, you just change the recipe for the time of year. You throw in the seasonal vegetables, shall we say.
Right. Yes. I agree.
Absolutely. A little bit sprinkled in cocktails and dinner, like you say, sprinkle in the happy Christmas, like take out the dirges, take out the white Christmas and the blue Christmas, and just play the happy stuff. It's Run, Run, Reindeer and Rudolph and Chuck Berry and Frosty the Snowman. Keep it upbeat, and none of those, stay away from the classic Carol of the Bells and the real sleepy tunes. Just play stuff that's got some energy. And then when it's dance, it's dance. You play.
I like doing the funny songs. I like doing Weird Yankovic and, Mama Grandma would get around with our reindeer and stuff like that. I don't want to do traditional wedding, traditional holiday songs, because a lot of times people have heard them over and over again. But you do some of those fun ones, like Christmas at Ground Zero and stuff like that. It's a little quirky, a little funny. A lot of people laugh at it, but I'm not hitting them over the head with every single Christmas song. It's only a few here and there.
Right. Exactly. Alrighty.
For me, it was. Sorry, Howie.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
It was kind of a little bit of a mix of everything, but usually during cocktail and dinner, if depending on the crowd, if I know that I don't want to offend a mixed crowd, then I might just stick with instrumental pieces.
Yes, that's what I do. Yeah,
especially in cocktail, and then switch to some up tempo, holly jolly Christmas type stuff. And more holiday, not Christmas type songs where, Baby It's Cold Outside even. But it all depends again on the crowd, because sometimes I like to twist it up. We have, kind of like Buddy was saying, we have a guy that did a whole CD of Baltimore themed Christmas songs, and they're all originals. And like the funniest one is Crabs for Christmas. Oh, I want crabs for Christmas. I mean, it's like, but then, there's some other little fun things like that. I used to basically say I never played Mariah Carey because everybody else had, and you heard it in the car 3 times on the way to the party. But this year, for that party I just did, I didn't just play Mariah Carey. I played Lindsey Sterling doing the Mariah Carey song. During the instrumental cocktail. During dinner, I played a country artist doing her song. Going into dancing, I did actually a Latin artist doing it in a bossa nova style, and had some people actually out on the floor doing a bossa nova to her song. And then I closed the party with it, and they went ape. Like, not once did I have more than half the crowd dancing, and that was the line dances out of, like 40 some people. Every person that was still in the room was out on the dance floor to Mariah Carey. So, hey, what the heck? Maybe that's my new closer.
You did the precursor. You implemented it in their head in every different style possible.
Yeah.
So when it finally came up, they're like, there it is.
There it is. You will not escape this fun tonight.
How many ways can you cook a potato?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, guys, I want to thank you so much for being here and helping out. And I wish you all happy holidays, but I'll see you guys before then. But all you folks out there in YouTube land and Restream land and our podcast, which is doing very well, if as always, you have a topic you would like us to cover, leave them in the comment sections of the various places. I do check them, and we'll be happy to cover that for you. And until next week, good night, everybody.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Good night.
Happy holidays.
Happy Easter.